Yo, what's up? I'm Ryan.
I'm Kathy.
And this is our Power Season 6 episode, I think it's 13, recap. We're big fans of the show Power, so we were like, you know what? We always talk about it after the episode. We catch it at midnight when it drops, and then we usually recap it.
It's like Power and Pillow Talk. So Power is very near and dear to our heart because it has a lot to do with the reason why we're together. One of our very first deep conversations as we were getting to know each other was during and after an episode of Power.
What season was that? I can't even remember.
Well, that would have been 2017.
I think Logos was still alive.
2014, so it should have been like season 3.
Okay.
But so it became like a tradition, our relationship, to watch the episode at midnight and then talk about it like immediately after.
Yeah.
We've been completely thrown off by the last 6 episodes of season 6.
You think so?
I personally have.
Okay.
The season finale, we had conflicting.
The season finale with Ghost was
mid-season
wilding out. That's the
finale.
one I didn't really. I wasn't feeling, but I loved these last 3 episodes. I know some people haven't, but I love them.
And we've also been very intrigued by the feedback of Twitter and other people's recaps, so we decided to go out.
Yeah. Just kind of up to this point, right? So, Tommy and Ghost have went through all their different drama when it comes to Lobos. Then it's the one Russian guy that was the connect. Then you have all the stuff that's going on with Councilman Tate and this, that, and the third. So it's kind of all culminated in this final season. And it's all the drama with Tariq and Sax and his annoying behind have led us to this culmination of the big drama now is who shot Ghost, right? A lot of people can't wrap their head around the fact that Ghost is actually dead.
I'm one of those people.
They want this man to have superhuman powers and come back to life.
So just to be clear, it wasn't that myself or I feel like any other defenders of Ghost believed that he was on Lazarus effect when the season returned. What I believe was that the writers tried to foreshadow as if he was gone for good, when in actuality they never used the word dead, killed, murdered. They kept saying Ghost got shot.
Okay, that's fair.
They
wanted to keep you watching them.
Yeah, so they left us on that cliffhanger, and I felt it was because they didn't want to have to backtrack and say, oh, I thought you said he was dead. But soon after those episodes, after he got shot started, and they started using the word died, murdered, killed, we were devastated, distraught, and a lot of people still are not trying to accept it. But Rod was one of the people who kept reminding me there has never been a person dead before that came back. Kanan did that.
But
we
he
thought
didn't die.
He was dead
He
was seriously injured.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that Ghost was seriously injured and not
I know
dead.
I've seen people on Twitter that still think Kanan and Andrew are alive. So I need y'all to really start accepting the truth. These people are dead. They're not coming back.
The conspiracy theory.
Yeah. All right. So just about this season in general, and the structure of the last, these last 5 episodes. What have been your thoughts on it? You like it? You don't like it? What have been your thoughts?
I didn't like the Ghost Got Shot episode cliffhanger. We both agreed that he was acting real out of character, and it was hard for those of us who've been watching from the beginning.
Yeah, he was really wilding out that episode.
Wrap our mind around where the writers were going with that. But we also, because of Power and Pillow Talk, maybe take a deeper dive than the normal viewer. So if after the other episodes had started, after Ghost was shot, and I took myself back out of trying to critique every scene and just became entertainment and a viewer again, of course, we could understand how those words may not even have been said. Those were Ghost
their
thoughts,
perception,
as he was that close to reaching
because he was
wilding
out. He was wilding out.
He was reaching the pinnacle of what he felt like was the life he had always desired. But I also thought it was dope how Courtney Kemp and on Power Confidential and the writers made it pretty clear that power was always supposed to be based on truth. And when you live in that life that way, the likelihood that you ride off into the sunset are very low. The likelihood that you live and die by the sword are much higher.
The one thing that, not to jump ahead, but the one thing that I've kind of noticed so far, this might not be true, but like two of the characters that really kept it the most 100 throughout the whole series have been 2-Bit and Tommy. And it looks like those are two of the characters that might make it out alive. So I think that's I think that's pretty telling. Like the characters that had to do a lot of like lying and double talk are the ones that ended up not making it. But we got 2 episodes left, so I don't know.
Maybe even the characters who are not clear about, this is me. Like Tommy has always been very clear. This is the life that the cards I was dealt. These are the cards I'm going to play, and I'm okay with it. The people who have had one thing and wanted another, I think, have always been disillusioned about where they could really be.
Okay. All right. So these last 5 episodes, the Who Shot Ghost episodes, right? So the first episode was about Dre, and from his perspective about everything that's going on, right? And that boy Dre caught a serious L at the end of that episode, got burned alive. My man wrote Timmy. I saw somebody on Twitter called him rotisserie, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, the crazy part is, this was the least annoyed by him that I had been throughout his whole time as a character. I guess because they let you see his relationship with his mom and how that kind of affected how he is now. Mm-hmm. But I still was happy when he got out of here. But like on the spectrum of like I can't stand Dre, it was kind of like on the downside compared to how it was probably like last season or the season before that. Right. And I was like, man, somebody please get him out of here. So the first episode was about Dre and kind of his perspective on the whole situation. Then Paz had an episode.
Yeah.
Right? I saw a lot of people complaining like, how did Paz get an episode? But I'm like, that was kind of...
They meme Paz to death. Yeah. The Hey Arthur meme where he got his fist like this? Yeah. They made one with Paz. They said the whole episode was Paz with that gun. Ready to shoot, but not able to pull the trigger. Yeah. That was the whole episode.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like... I liked the episode, quite frankly, but I know a lot of people didn't. But when Courtney Kemp described that was like her giving Angie a voice in this last, as we kind of go down the home stretch of Power, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it. So I didn't really have an issue with that. The scene that she did with Tommy, when she tried to bust into his apartment, we both were like, how in the hell does she know where Tommy lives?
Yeah, we was mad both that frustrated people are by that. Easily finding Tommy's address.
Exactly. He's like a drug kingpin, like killer.
He's Frank Lucas and everybody on his door. Yeah.
But that was my favorite episode of that episode, like of that favorite scene of that episode. Yeah. I just felt like it was brilliantly acted. Joseph Sakura, I think is his name, the guy who plays Tommy Egan. He's so dope. He's so dope.
Brilliant actor and everything. I've seen him in.
So this episode was from Tommy's perspective about what happened. So, babe, give me your thoughts on Tommy Egan in general as a character. Because you like Tommy, right?
Yeah, I love Tommy. Tommy is like, Tommy is in every situation that we wanted Ghost to do something and he didn't, because Ghost is near and dear to all the viewers' hearts, I feel. Tommy would be the one who would do the thing that we expected. Like, he's so unapologetically like himself. He's
a little impulsive though.
Yeah,
which
impulsive.
is why that's why he needs Ghost, because Ghost is very like not manipulative, but he thinks methodical. Yeah, he thinks about things.
Which is what makes a good balance of their partnership, and we've always talked about that. Like Tommy is gonna act now, think later, and I feel like a lot of people who are realistically in lifestyles like Tommy do that type of thing.
Yeah.
And when you think about Tommy's upbringing, his relationships with his loved ones, he is operating like he don't have nothing to live for, which is the fact of the matter. Ghost can't operate like that because he got a lot to live for.
Yeah.
And when you walk the streets like, live today, die tomorrow, you would in fact behave like Tommy. So I feel like it's
what did you think about the scene with Tommy and Kate? Kate's his mom, of course, where she was pretty much like telling him, like you are nothing without Jamie. And, you know what I mean? Did you feel, because Tommy, his relationship with his mom has been one of the threads that's been woven throughout the whole series though. Like, okay, Tommy's relationship with his mom, Tommy's relationship with different women. First Holly, then Keisha. and then Tommy's like affection, or I guess Tommy's everything that he loves, he seems to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. So how did you feel about that scene? I felt like that scene was kind of heartbreaking.
And
I mean, he knows his mom.
Yeah, it wasn't
kind of
surprising
junkie, so.
because his mom has been emotionally abusive, like since the beginning.
Manipulative, for real.
And I think the demonstration of his relationship with his mom goes to show why family is so important to him. Why he really embraced Jamie
when
and
he
Tasha.
reconnected with Teresi, his dad, his mom was so jealous.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I don't want to lose that manipulation I can have over him.
Yeah.
Because now that he has another, parental figure in the scene. So, all right. What else about this episode with Tommy? His interaction like with Lisa Marie.
Yeah. I thought that was dope. Thought that was
that
very
young lady
realistic.
can act her butt off.
Can.
She was amazing.
And the likelihood that she'll grow up and think to live or follow in the footsteps of her crime family, but maybe on the other side, like her dad did, dress that as something professional, but still living behind the
She
scenes.
might be like the next Angie Valdez or something.
And Angie was trying to be a white hat and ended up falling in love with the wrong guy, but I feel like she will be the mafia lawyer that gets a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can already tell she's smart. She is wise beyond her years.
I feel bad for her mom, her dad, her uncle. All of them, like just, and I know power time is different than normal time, but it seemed like in the past like 3 months.
And I think that's what that scene was about. That you bring that up, the connection, the commonalities. Is that a word?
Common, yeah.
Okay, that her and Tommy had in common.
Yeah.
Like both, like
Tommy loves kids anyway, though. He's always been like that.
Or he knows like sometimes like you just grow up into circumstances that don't have anything to do with you, and then you gotta play the cards you were dealt, like I said before.
Yeah.
So I think that those scenes were demonstrations that they were more alike than they are different. They had a lot of mirror moments with that.
Yeah, that conversation that they had in the car was like, that was really deep.
And when he told her, if you grow up and you want to talk to me about it, you come see about me, I understand.
That was his way of admitting, because she kept asking, did you kill my dad? He couldn't bring himself to say that, you know?
And he knows that one day he's going to have to pay for every sin he committed, and that might be one of them.
Yeah. What about the scene with Tommy and Tasha? I thought that was a pivotal scene.
Super dope scene. To me, it was just a demonstration that Tasha is about that life.
Yeah.
Like, she was ready
to go out like a G.
Yeah, she was ready to die, and she was like, at the end of the day, like, at least it's you. But we had discussed how he was gonna find out, and I knew in the scene where she killed Lakeisha, taking that paper was gonna be her saving grace.
That was her insurance.
Because she was gonna be able to say.
Because she knew Tommy was coming.
Yeah, and when she reminded him, you saw those bags packed at the foot of those steps. Tommy thought back and he was like, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. And he knows what Lakeisha was willing to do for cash.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, we already talked about Kate. Okay, I'll tell you who pissed. I mean, he pissed everybody off. He pissed the whole Power Nation off. But Tariq really, he has, and this is saying a lot because there's been many episodes where I just wanted to beat him with a belt, and then like with a shoe, and then with a hammer. This was one where he really pissed me off. What do you feel like is the origin for Tariq's just like where's his anger coming from? Like what? I'm trying to figure out what's he so pissed off about. I still haven't got it after all these years.
Ryan said that earlier. He's like, what are you so mad about? And I think, like, no offense to males or black males watching, what I feel like people are
here comes the offense.
Yeah, negating to remember is that remember how old Tariq was when Power began.
Yeah, he was a kid.
He was like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
He had to observe the hurt that his dad bestowed upon his mom by cheating. He saw his family break up. He saw the corruption of his dad's relationships always keep his family in danger. He experienced the loss of his sister,
which was his fault, 100%.
Yeah. Then he saw his
took no accountability for it.
And he didn't take any accountability, but nor does Ghost take accountability for breaking up his family or causing the rift between himself and Tariq. So at the end of the day,
I hear you. How did Ghost cause it? Because he cheated on Tasha with Angie? Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that could be another episode, but okay, all right.
But then you ask why he's so upset. He's upset because he feel like Ghost dismantled his family.
Yeah.
And broke his mom's heart, and he feels like the reason why the family is in the predicament they're in now is because he is the one that initially put them in danger.
Okay.
By being a drug dealer in the first place.
I had no idea you were Team Tariq.
I'm not Team Tariq. I'm Team Fast.
Team Tariq.
Team Fast.
Okay, so rewatching a couple scenes, getting ready for this video. Tariq, okay, he had the scene with Tommy, right? Where Tommy was like, "Hey, Ghost might be a lot of things, but this stuff that I think he didn't do."
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Tariq, it's almost like he was like had a one-track mind, like, "No, we're killing him tonight." Like Tariq didn't even want to hear anything, right? I guess he felt like Tommy was being manipulated by Ghost again, or being manipulated by Ghost.
Well, what he again, you gotta remember before that mid-season finale, when Ghost told Tariq he should give himself up for killing old boy and do some time.
If he really said that though, because you know how the different perspectives of the episodes are changing now.
So we don't know that. But if that conversation took place, and remember he had that conversation with more than one person, including Tasha, we should just let him take some responsibility. He might have to do a few. Once I'm the lieutenant governor, I can make some, whatever. That crushed Tariq because that was again his dad's word saying, "I'll take the rap, don't worry." And now here you are retracting.
And I looked at it like, okay, they've been covering Tariq's butt his whole life. He haven't had to do. He's been babied and sheltered his whole life, and he wanted that to happen again. That's how I took it. But again, I'm just salty with Tariq in general.
Yeah.
So everything he does irritates me. But I was about to say, I rewatched the scene where Vincent and all those guys tried to ambush Tommy in the alley on this last episode, and I just realized that
he said, "How'd you know where I?"
Yeah, so Tariq dimed out Tommy too. Tariq is really, him and Dre have always been neck and neck. I've always kind of had a little bit more, like I gave Tariq a little bit of leeway because I felt like he didn't know any better, but I don't know. Him and Dre right now in the same category for me.
And I feel like anybody who wants that spot and maybe is unworthy of it, and when I say that spot, I mean both spot, they all behave similarly.
Okay, so what did you feel about the death scene when Tommy arrives to Truth?
Watching Ghost die just broke my heart, y'all. It was like I was watching a Disney movie with our daughter. Like, I didn't want to accept that he was dying, but I feel like he went out like a G. He still was protecting his brother, telling him to leave. I feel like Tommy made eye contact, or at least saw who actually was the shooter and was growing angry. And again, Jamie told him, like, let it go. Yeah. And that's why
I feel like that was their apology to each other too.
Yeah, and I feel like we also feel that was a reason to believe that the shooter was somebody that Ghost cared about, like a family member like Tariq.
Yeah.
Because if it had been an enemy, he wouldn't have stopped Tommy from retaliating.
Yeah. Or Tommy would have just pulled a gun out and started shooting.
Right.
Tommy was obviously shocked.
Right. But you could see the look on both of their faces that was something like devastating, and Ghost knew he wasn't gonna make it. He knew he wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah.
So that was hard. Of course, since I was one of the people who was thinking he was gonna miraculously come out of a coma in a few episodes, to watch him there on the floor actually dying, I started to just accept the fact that when the news reporter is saying died, killed, murdered, it's sinking in that he really did die. So that was hard to watch.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like last episode, people had got insurance settlements, but people were still wondering if Ghost was alive. Like how? But yeah, that death scene was really rough. It was kind of like, especially people like us that's been watching since the first season, to see it come to like full circle like that. But it did give me a little bit of, closure that they were kind of able to hold hands, and like Ghost was able to see that he was trying to be there for him, and their love as brothers, was still intact. Okay, so we got 2 episodes left. I guess you still got Councilman Tate out there. You still got Sax with his guys out there. You still got Ramona, who I think is a wild card. I think Ramona has something to do with something. Then you got Tasha, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the last 4. And I guess you kind of got with the annoying voice that you don't like.
Oh, the cop?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
remember she got knocked out outside
yeah,
the thing.
yeah. So she didn't even get it. Okay, so you got like 3 or 4 people that's still possibly suspects.
And remember, Councilman Tate sent Dre to kill.
Yes, the guy that Tasha was messing around with from the daycare, I think he might have had something to do with who was shooting at Ghost and Tommy in the shipyard.
Yeah.
When Cedric the Entertainer just randomly
pops up
shot.
with no lines.
But I think because to me it makes no sense to introduce that character if he has nothing to do with the rest of the way that the show is going to end.
And I think they may have just been throwing stuff out because they know they only got a few episodes left. Like, you want to be on the show? Come on, Sid.
Okay, so what are your predictions for the last couple episodes? What do you think?
I'm like 99% sure that it was going to be Tariq as the shooter.
Okay.
They're going to use that dynamic to launch the spinoff because,
Because apparently Ghost shot his dad, Breeze, right?
And I'm not sure about that whole backdrop, but I'm sure that they're going to explain it for us. But I think it would be more dynamic that Ghost was taken out, not by an enemy, but by
his son. And then Tariq has to deal with that.
Yeah.
Do you think the spinoff is going to have Tommy and his whole California saga in it?
No, I think that ride off into the sunset to California was his exit.
Okay. All right. So, what do you feel about my theory about Ramona having something to do with it?
I don't think Ramona is involved in his killing.
So you think she just out of the show now?
No, I think Ramona has her own agenda.
You don't think her and Tasha are gonna? Because Ramona, I believe, and you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is still in the club at this point because she ran into Paz in the bathroom, in the restroom, right? Mm-hmm. And I just feel like there's no way Ramona and Tasha don't have an interaction when Tasha get to the club.
And I don't know if Tasha is going to be at the club. Because remember the conversation he had with Tasha, like, I'm moving on, I'm going to be with Ramona. I believe that Tasha might be at home with a glass of wine, knowing what Tariq is possibly going to do.
Okay.
I believe that Ramona might be present when the gunshot goes off, but I don't think she has anything to do with it. And then I believe that when they say, oh, who's going to be the next running mate for the candidate, the white lady? They may say, Ramona, you are the best one to do it. And she really wants to redeem her name. So I believe like that's going to be her position. I don't think she has anything to do with it.
That could very much be true. Also, there are theories going around on Twitter that Ramona is somehow linked to Terry Silver, and that's going to be a reason that she would have an extra motivation to kill Ghost. Oh yeah, before we go, what about Sax? He always out there mad, angry.
I just believe Sax gonna end up for all the things that he's done.
I just want Sax to just get killed by a random crackhead on the way to truth.
Yeah,
and he just
and Sax is a filthy scumbag, but he's not a murderer. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they gonna let him. Oh God, Ghost has ruined my life.
I saw a meme that said, Sax is gonna get to the murder scene, and it's gonna be like
Ghost did it.
Sax is so whack, bro. But
that's a wrap.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know what your thoughts are. Who you think shot Ghost. You can leave comments. We're going to do a couple more episodes to recap next week's episode, and then of course the series finale. So hopefully you enjoy this recap and enjoy Power as much as we do. We'll see you next time. Peace.